Magic is believing in yourself. If you can do that, you can make anything happen. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. At the moment of commitment, the entire universe conspires to assist you. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. The best way to cheer yourself up is to try to cheer somebody else up. Correction does much, but encouragement does more. Life belongs to the living, and he who lives must be prepared for changes. A man sees in the world what he carries in his heart. None are more hopelessly enslaved than those who falsely believe they are free. To think is easy, to act is hard, but the hardest thing in the world is to act in accordance with your thinking. Nature knows no pause in progress and development, and attaches her curse on all inaction. What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. Daring ideas are like chessmen moved forward. They may be beaten, but they may start a winning game. Love does not dominate, it cultivates. There is nothing more frightful than ignorance in action. We are shaped and fashioned by what we love. In the realm of ideas, everything depends on enthusiasm. In the real world, all rests on perseverance. The hardest thing to see is what is in front of your eyes. Every day we should hear at least one little song, read one good poem, see one exquisite picture, and, if possible, speak a few sensible words. Everything is hard before it is easy. I call architecture frozen music. He only earns his freedom and his life who takes them every day by storm. One ought, every day at least, to hear a little song, read a good poem, see a fine picture, and, if it were possible, to speak a few reasonable words. Divide and rule, a sound motto. Unite and lead, a better one. It is not enough to have knowledge, one must also apply it. It is not enough to have wishes, one must also accomplish. Nobody would be who he is if he did not believe things that are not. The person born with a talent they are meant to use will find their greatest happiness in using it. Do not give in too much to feelings. An overly sensitive heart is an unhappy possession on this shaky earth. People of uncommon abilities generally fall into eccentricities when their sphere of life is not adequate to their abilities. A great deal may be done by severity, more by love, but most by clear discernment and impartial justice. Courage is the commitment to begin without any guarantee of success. Ignorant men raise questions that wise men answered 1,000 years ago. The man with insight enough to admit his limitations comes nearest to perfection. Duty is everywhere a welcome guest. Happiness is a butterfly which, when pursued, is always beyond your grasp, but which, if you will sit down quietly, may alight upon you. Men showed their character in nothing more clearly than by what they think laughable. We must always change, renew, rejuvenate ourselves, otherwise we harden. It is the strange fate of man that even in the greatest of evils the fear of the worst continues to haunt him. To be pleased with one's limits is a wretched state. Man is not born to solve the problems of the universe, but to find out what he has to do. By seeking and blundering we learn. One must ask children and birds how cherries and strawberries taste. Character develops itself in the stream of life. The soul that sees beauty may sometimes walk alone. Art is long, life short, judgment difficult, opportunity transient. Error is acceptable as long as we are young, but one must not drag it along into old age. A clever man commits no minor blunders. Deeply earnest and thoughtful people stand on shaky footing with the public. Words are good, but they are not the best. The best is not to be explained by words. Talent develops in tranquility, character in the full current of human life. Against criticism a man can neither protest nor defend himself. He must act in spite of it, and then it will gradually yield to him. The best government is that which teaches us to govern ourselves. A really great talent finds its happiness in execution. Age merely shows what children we remain. Superstition is the poetry of life. All the knowledge I possess everyone else can acquire, but my heart is all my own. Be generous with kindly words, especially about those who are absent. The intelligent man finds almost everything ridiculous, the sensible man hardly anything. Where there is a strong will, there are 100 ways. Things which matter most must never be at the mercy of things which matter least. To rule is easy, to govern difficult. Education must not simply teach work, it must teach life. The deed is everything, the glory not. Endure when you can, and endure when you must. I respect the man who knows distinctly what he wishes. Sowing is not as difficult as reaping. How many things which served us yesterday as articles of faith are fables for us today. He who does not think much of himself is much more esteemed than he imagines. Mastery passes often for egotism. Who is the wisest man? He who neither knows or wishes for anything else than what happens. Every situation Every moment is of infinite worth, for it is the representative of a whole eternity. To venture upon an undertaking of any kind, even the most insignificant, is to sacrifice to envy. The mediator of the inexpressible is the work of art. The person born of a woman is apt to be troubled with fits of weeping. Common sense is the genius of humanity. The little man is still man. One never goes so far as when one doesn't know where one is going. Limitation of life forces us to concentrate on its essentials. Life teaches us to be less harsh with ourselves and with others. If I love you, what business is it of yours? There are two things children should get from their parents: roots and wings. Dream no small dreams, for they have no power to move the hearts of men. The coward only threatens when he is safe. Impatience asks for the impossible, wants to reach the goal without the means of getting there. Plunge boldly into the thick of life and seize it where you will. It is always interesting. A man's manners are a mirror in which he shows his portrait. It is not doing the thing we like to do, but liking the thing we have to do, that makes life blessed. Whenever I hear people talking about liberal ideas, I am always astounded that men should love to fool themselves with empty sounds. Do not give your attention to what others do or fail to do. Give it to what you do or fail to do. Ingratitude is always a kind of weakness. I have never known men of ability to be ungrateful. Difficulties increase the nearer we get to the goal. What is not started today is never finished tomorrow. Prosperity belongs to those who learn new things the fastest. Fear always springs from ignorance. Death is a commingling of eternity with time. In the death of a good man, eternity is seen looking through time. Nothing should be prized more highly than the value of each day. Life is the childhood of our immortality. Just trust yourself, then you will know how to live.